Okay, let's have a look at one of my favourite experiments, and that's making slime. And to make slime, we basically mix some borax and some PVA and a little bit of food colouring to make the coloured slime that we think is the grossest. Now, the purpose of this experiment is not only just to make it, but to observe the properties of slime, and we'd like you to consider whether it's a solid or a liquid based on those properties. So let's have a look at some of the results, and as we fly through these, let's have a bit of a think about that question. So firstly, let's have a look to see whether it can be rolled or squashed, and we found it could be rolled into a ball very easily, and when we look at that ball, it can be very easily squashed and flattened. And we can see when we take our finger off it too, just a little bit of elasticity as it sort of slightly springs back into shape. The next one is it can be stretched, okay, and we're able to stretch that out, and we'll have a bit of a look at that here. Okay, it does have the ability to be stretched continuously, and I suppose almost a bit of a competition to see who can stretch those the furthest. So again, in the properties we've looked at already, start thinking, is it looking like it's a solid or a liquid? Which properties does it have? The next one is an interesting one. It's whether it can take the shape of a container. And we have our ball rolled here. When we put it in a small beaker, we can see over time it actually takes the shape of its container and sits at the bottom there. So originally it starts as a ball and it takes that shape. We can see that happening with everyone's slime, and the ones that didn't seem like they're happening, when we left them for long enough, they did settle at the bottom of the container. If we let it sit, we can actually see some of that movement moving with some of the slimes. Some of the slime balls, we could actually see it flattening it out when we left it to sit. All right, let's have a look at another one. This is a good one that goes reasonably quickly here. Left for long enough, they end up like a big flat pancake on the boards we're using. The last property is to look to see whether it can be dropped. We have a few here being dropped from a height. And here's another one. Shows it quite clearly. That's a great little bounce in the bottom of the screen. This is probably my favourite bounce here. Okay, absolutely no control over that bounce. Alright. So our question today regarding slime is, do you think it's a solid or a liquid? And we'd like you to justify your answer. Use the properties that we've just discussed in our results to explain why you think it's a solid or a liquid. Okay. After you've posted, we'd like you to comment on other people's posts and give them some feedback about their answer. Good luck.